actually the largest unboxing that I've ever done on my channel, then it is definitely coming in close because we have a lot to get through today. So I am going to start, as always, with a quick little run through of everything we've got here before I dive into actually opening everything up. But this is everything that's pretty much derived at my house, with a couple of exceptions, in the month of July. So we have 3 things that were sent to me either by the author or by publishers that I have to open up. We also have the adult Fairyloot and the YA Fairyloot, both of which were sent to me by the team over at Fairyloot to open for you guys, so thank you very much to Fairyloot for that. Fairyloot are a monthly book subscription service. They have the adult book only box and also the regular YA monthly box that has a hardback book and a selection of bookish goodies in it. We also have the July Locked Library. This is a book only fantasy sci-fi subscription that I pay for myself. Another one that I pay for myself is the Afterlight box by Illumicrate. This one is Illumicrate's bi-monthly romance subscription. Now I do have 2 Afterlight packages here. We have the regular box for July, and I also have the Ali Hazelwood like mini box that they did. I don't know which is which, but I do have both, and both of them I did pay for myself. The only other rep package we have is the monthly Illumicrate. This was sent to me by the team over at Illumicrate to open for you guys, so thank you very much to Illumicrate for that. I do have a discount code for Illumicrate as well, so if you would like to get your hands on your very own Illumicrate subscription after watching this video, you can use my code, which is Becca5, and that will get you a discount on a 3 or 6 month subscription. And Illumicrate is another UK based monthly subscription service. The books in this one tend to fall in the new adult range. It's like some YA, some adult, all fantasy or sci-fi, with very few exceptions. And there is a selection of bookish goodies in here as well. And then we have the GOLDSBORO book for July. As you know, I am a GSFF subscription member. I did a series trialing all of the books. I am going to be cancelling my membership, but I'm utilising all of my skips because there are a few books that I'm actually interested in. July was one of those books, and GOLDSBORO are a monthly sci-fi and fantasy subscription service, or the GSFF is by GOLDSBORO Books at least, where you get a brand new sci-fi or fantasy release that is a signed and numbered exclusive first edition. And I think that that is it. Please ignore the stack of books in the background. The next sit down video you're going to see on this channel is a book haul, and I have all of the books there ready waiting to go, and I will be adding some of these to that stack as well. I have no idea where to start, so I have the GOLDSBORO in my hand, and I feel like that is as good a place as any. This is a book that I've seen around. I feel like it has not like hype, but it is reasonably popular, and I read the synopsis. It sounds pretty interesting, and I do like the GOLDSBORO edition, so I decided to go ahead and get it. The GOLDSBORO subscription, for those of you who are interested, I think is about £27 a month. I can't remember. I think that's with shipping, and there's only, I think, 2,000 spots in the membership, so of all of these subscriptions I get, this one is the most exclusive. Darling, you can't have this bubble wrap. But the book for July was Ink Blood Sister Scribd by Emma Tors, I want to pronounce that. The back says not all books should be opened, and it has a real pretty lasered edge on here. So this isn't going to have a synopsis, is it? And I'm going to have to look it up because I can't remember what it's about. But this one is number 1043 out of 2,000 copies. And as with all of these special editions in this video, I will overlay the original cover over the top so that you guys can see the difference between them. So this is about a family, specifically 2 estranged half-sisters that are tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books, and they must work together to unravel a deadly secret at the heart of their collection. So one of them fled to a remote base in Antarctica to escape the fate that killed her own mother, and the other one has isolated herself in the family home, devoting her life to the study of these magical books that they protect. And then suddenly their father dies while reading a book that they've never seen before, and they have to reunite to kind of find out what happened to him. I want to say I'm not the biggest fan of books about books. It's not a buzzword for me, but this book in particular does sound interesting, and I really love the edition. It sounded like something that I would like. So we're going to start our stack of books, I guess, over here near the books that are going to be hauled anyway. Next up, I guess we'll move to the YA Fairyloot because it's here. Thank you once again to Fairyloot for sending this one my way. I probably would know what book this is if I thought about it. I probably already figured it out. I say that. Do I ever recognize the books in book boxes these days? I feel like I'm really out of touch with new releases, and I don't do a lot of research myself because I'm lazy and I rely on subscription boxes to kind of put books in front of me. The theme card is right at the bottom. Oh, it looks sassy though. The theme for this month is Cruel Intentions, and here are the spoilers if you would like to pause and take a read of those. I, as usual, will be going in blind, starting off with, is this a coaster set? It is a Monster Family Crest coaster set designed by Bluely Boo. Oh, pretty. There are 4 coasters in this box. Oop. I will say in terms of general items, I have about as many coasters as my house requires right now. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, but I do really love the art on these. Oh! Cruel Intentions magnetic bookmarks. I do love me a bookmark and a magnetic one as well. These are really pretty. I was expecting them to be like character art ones. They're quite like hefty as well, but these are fantasy weapons, and I do love a dagger, like a dagger or a sword design. I want a tattoo that is a weapon, but I feel like it needs to be a specific weapon, and I haven't decided what one it's going to be yet, so that is a future plan of mine at some point, I guess. Oh, a pair of socks. I love subscription box socks. I've had a lot of subscription boxes in my time and quite a few pairs of subscription box socks, and I think I've only lost maybe 2 pairs of them to like things like holes, so I think that they're decently well made. These ones are the Wicker King socks, which is the book by Kay Ancrum. I have it somewhere. I think it's over there. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see a thing. There's like a magical world in those books that have like symbols throughout them, which I think that these socks is representing the symbols and like the doodles from the other dimension. And this is, oh, it's the new secret book. I love these because these are the perfect size for putting all of the bits out of subscription boxes in. So I'm talking like the art prints, because I like a large art print. I have a lot of wall in my house. So anything that's like an A5 or a postcard print that comes in a subscription box, I tend to store them in these. And I think the Fairyloot ones, because I've had smaller metal ones, but I actually prefer the cardboard Fairyloot ones because I find them to be a much better size. This one is the Book of Fate. It is a gorgeous purple. And then the final official item is a nightmare pin. Oh, it's a tarot card. I love that. She's super pretty. So just before we get to the book, we have the tarot cards of the month. Oh, I know who these are. Is this Sorcery of Thorns? Yes, it is. So in every Fairyloot you get 2 tarot cards. The idea is that when you have so many Fairyloots, you'll have a full deck of tarot. So this month's cards are the Knight and the Page of Stars, and they are the 2 main characters, which I think is it Nathaniel and Elizabeth from Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, which is a book that I sadly didn't love because I really love An Enchantment of Ravens. The cards are super pretty regardless. Okay, so the book of the month. I'm intrigued because the theme is Cruel Intentions, but in this bag we also have the bookmark with the monthly spoiler card art on. We have the fairy scoop, and we should also have a letter from the author on the back of this art print. Interesting. And the book of the month for, oh, very pretty celestialish edges. The book of the month for the July Fairyloot is, I've seen the cover of this book around and it looks super intriguing. It's Threads That Bind by Kika. Oh, Kika Hatsapolo, potentially. I will need to look that up at some point to get the pronunciation correct, but I will of course overlay the original cover over the top so you guys can see the difference. On here we have foiling under the dust jacket. We also have a alternate cover so you can flip it inside out if you wanna. There are also custom end pages, yes, that are different on both sides, and they also have this gorgeous printed edge. So I do not know what the plot of this is. It actually kind of worries me that it is about threads, because that reminds me a lot of Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, which is a series that I do not love, but it is also actually signed by the author. But the synopsis of this says, oh, it's got something to do with gods. In the city of Elante, the descendants of the Greek gods live alongside mortals. Io is Moira-born, descended from the Fates. She can see threads, shimmering silver lines connecting every person. When a relationship is formed, a new thread appears. When a person's life thread is cut, it's their time to die. Io uses her gifts as a private investigator, trying to make ends meet in a world which treats other born people like her with suspicion and prejudice. Then Io is witness to a murder. But this is no ordinary murder. Io can see that the killer's life thread is severed. They should be long dead. More complicated still, there is another witness, Edie, a member of the violent Rossi mob who rule Atlanti. And what Io can see immediately, though Edie cannot, is that there is a bright silver fate thread connecting them. This boy is her destiny. Is it Edie? Edie? I don't think it's Edie. I don't think it is. Io and this boy are thrown together to solve the case, and as Io grapples with the dark secrets lurking beneath Atlanti's surface, she must decide whether to embrace her fate and give into the feelings growing between herself and this mysterious boy, or whether to cut the thread and set him free. This sounds like it's going to be like an urban fantasy or like a contemporary fantasy set in the real world, or like some version of it. But yeah, it does also seem kind of similar to Truthwitch. I mean, it's the execution of Truthwitch that I don't love, not the actual concept and the thread stuff. So that's not an indicator that like I won't like this book or anything. But down in the comments, let me know what your favourite item from this month's Fairyloot is. This is like a decent box from Fairyloot. It's not one of my favourites, but I will use definitely the majority of the items. And I think my favourite, probably, we're gonna go with the socks for this month, but I really like these two as well. So while we've started on the Fairyloots, next up we will do the adult box. I also, as far as I'm aware, don't remember what the theme or the book of the month is for this. But the theme, oh, I do know what this is. I didn't know that this was going to be a Fairyloot book, I don't think, but I should have done, because I know that it's the new Chloe Gong book based on this. So the theme is Eternal Power, and I can just tell from that theme that it's the new Chloe Gong, which I still haven't read a book from Chloe Gong, but her concepts, like her synopses, seem like something that I really like. I don't know how I didn't know that this was in here. But oh, we also have a letter from the author, oops, on the back of this art print, and I really like the art on this. But the book is Immortal Longings, I think it's called. Yes, by Chloe Gong. So I will of course overlay the original cover over the top. This has a very intricate printed edge. Like, wow, look at that. And it goes like all the way round as well. On the back it says, tear down a lover, rebuild the kingdom. God, that art is so pretty. Oh, hello, my guy. And then, oh, we also have a very pretty reverse dust jacket art in here and very pretty foil. I really like this edition. I hope I love this book. The red and blue is a little bit jarring, but it obviously fits with the theme and like the color palette of the book. But I like the art style that has been used on all of the customization on this one. So I don't know anything about this one. It is, by the looks of it, I think it's a digital signature in this one, which I know some people care about. I personally do not, but I don't know anything about the actual synopsis. So let's see. This is her debut adult, I think. Oh, epic fantasy debut as well. I didn't know it was that. It's also inspired by Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. Oh my God. Okay. Every year, thousands flock to Sanair, the dangerously dense capital twin cities of the Kingdom of Tarlin, where the palace hosts a set of deadly games. Sign me up. Those confident in their ability to jump between bodies can enter a fight to the death for the chance to win unimaginable riches. Princess Kala Tuolimi has been in hiding for 5 years, ever since she murdered her parents to free the people of Tarlin from her tyrannical family. Only one person stands in her way of finishing the job, her reclusive uncle King Karsa. However, she knows he always greets the victor of the games. If she wins, she finally gets the chance to kill him. Enter Anton Makusa, whose childhood love has lain in a coma since they were both ousted from the palace. He's deep in debt trying to keep her alive, which means his last chance at saving her is entering the games and winning. I am so ready for this book. When Anton proposes an unexpected alliance with Kala, they quickly find their partnership spiraling into something all-consuming. But before the games close, Kala must decide what she's playing for, her lover or her kingdom, for no matter what, only one of them can walk out alive. Yes. Yes to all of this. I am ready. How long is this book? 370. Is this really epic fantasy? Because typically like an epic fantasy is much larger. Regardless, I'm interested. So that's all of the Fairyloots. We have a lot of Illumicrate to get through. So I think before that, we will go through the stack of things that have been sent to me by either the authors or the publisher. So this one, I believe, is an indie fantasy romance from the author. Oh, it has a letter in it as well. It says, Becca, thank you so much for taking a chance on me and my book, baby. When it comes time for you to read it, I just hope you love the story and characters just as much as I do. Though I have faith in Raylin, Malachi, and the gang that they won't disappoint you, just try to refrain from screaming and shouting at me too much in my DMs, Shifty Faye. I'm worried. The princesses of Aldros await you. All my kindness, Jasmine. Thank you so much, Jasmine. So, Oh, it's a matte cover. We love a matte cover. So this one is a dark Rapunzel retelling about a princess that has been kept in a tower. She manages to break herself out and ends up having to pretend to be a different princess entirely in a different court. But she is given a task to find a long lost heirloom, which is a pendant made of the blackest obsidian. And if she can find that, she can go home and reunite with her family at last. I did read the first couple of chapters of this, and so far so good. And thank you very much to Jasmine for sending this one my way. It is book 1 in the Severed Kingdoms series. You know I love me a fairy tale retelling, and I love a fantasy romance, so what could possibly go wrong? Next up, I have a very pretty PR package. I believe that this one is from Source Books, and it is Rachel Griffin's new book. The side of the box says, "It feels as if I'd been living in the shadows and he's invited me into the light." So, oh, we got some snacks. This is the arc of Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. I have, I think, Wild is the Witch that I haven't read yet, but I know that Rachel Griffin typically writes like witchy fantasy, like contemporary fantasy, I think, set in the real world. But the synopsis on this one says, Tana Fairchild's fate has never been in question. Her life has been planned out since the moment she was born. She is to marry the governor's son Landon and secure an unprecedented alliance between the witches of her island home and the mainlanders who see her very existence as a threat. Tana's coven has appeased those who fear their power for years by releasing most of their magic into the ocean during the full moon. But when Tana misses the midnight ritual, a fatal mistake, there is no one she can turn to for help until she meets Wolf. Wolf claims he is from a coven that practices dark magic, making him one of the only people who can help her. But he refuses to let Tana's power rush into the sea, and instead teaches her his forbidden magic, a magic that makes her feel powerful, alive. As the sea grows more violent, her coven loses control of the currents, a danger that could destroy the alliance as well as her island. This is a long synopsis. Tana will have to choose between love and duty, between loyalty to her people and loyalty to her heart. Marrying Landon would secure peace for her coven, but losing Wolf and his wild magic could cost her everything else. So a little bit of a, is it a love triangle? Because she doesn't want to marry this other guy at all, but I like the forbidden love kind of aspect of it. And the release date on this is the 1st of August. Are you already out? This is already out. This was released on the 1st of August, guys, so if you want to get your hands on it, it is now available. I will be reading it as soon as possible. I really like the way that this has been printed. It's got like a really loose spine on it, and as well as that, in the box we have a couple of additional goodies. There is some chocolate. I love these little tiny Tony's Chocolonelys. I love Tony's Chocolonely chocolate anyway. These mini ones are so cute. I have a box. We also have a little flower pin. Oh, a sticker that says, "Let me love you until you're sure it's magic." I love that. And then we also have a bookmark and a little promotional postcard. So thank you very much to Source Books for sending this one my way. I am very intrigued by it. Okay, and the last one from the publisher has come to me all the way from the US. It took a hot minute to get here, and it is from Liam's Vigil Publishing. And this one is Outlaw Mage by K.S. Veloso. So I have the first in the Bitch Queen series, which is the Wolf of Orenyaro by K.S. Veloso, that I wanted to get to for a long time, but you know how it is with me. I take my sweet time to get to anything. But this is K.S. Veloso's brand new release. It is Outlaw Mage. I think that this is also at least almost out. On here it just says that it's out August 2023, so if it's not out now, it will be soon. It's an indie release, and it is the first book in the Degayan Puppet Master series. On the back it just says, "Maybe they were just afraid of your fire." And it's also been blurbed by Rin Chapeko. So this one is about a girl who is an outsider from the fringes of the empire that has magic and gets to attend a magic school. Her father pretty much uses her as a symbol of status and like proof that even people like them can belong in the empire, and her teachers treat her like a charity case. So on the eve of her final exams, she throws away her chance of becoming an official mage by practicing magic outside of the Mage Council's grasp. And it says years later, her father's shoddy business deals have finally landed him in trouble, and he disappears without a trace. So she has to enter the services of a rich sorcerer who is her father's last known connection to try and find out what happened to him. So definitely intrigued. I more just want to read something from K.S. Veloso because I have heard good things like in general. channel, and maybe this one will be the one. I mean, it should be because it's published this month. I was thinking about doing an ARC vlog, but we'll see if it works out in my favor. But if it does, I mean, I've got plenty to go at here now. Okay, so that was all of the ARC stuff. Next up, we will head into the stack of Illumicrates. We will start with the standard box, which is heavy. I don't know what's in here, but it might be a brick. Thank you very much to Illumicrate for sending me this one to open up for you guys. And she's took a beating. It was a rough road for her to get here. The monthly, like the regular Illumicrate, was the last box in this video that arrived as well. So she struggled, but she made it. So the theme for this month is you win or you die. And here are the spoilers. If you'd like to pause and take a look, I of course will be going in blind. The theme for next month is Hidden Magic. It is for fans of Priory of the Orange Tree, Sorcery of Thorns, The House in the Cerulean Sea, and there is an official licensed Mortal Instruments item in there as well. We got a big old towel. It's still heavy without this is not contributing. This is pretty light. I use these for the pets just because the size is good for pets, but the theme on it is like fire is catching. The design, oh, she's a big one. She's a good size for Brie, but it's large. Like, can you guys, oh, it's the Hunger Games. I did not guess that because of the color palette, but from what I can see back here, it looks like Katniss, I think. This could be the heavy item. It doesn't say what it is. It's just a pretty box. So these are stemless teacups. They are a set of 2. These remind me of like a vintage 70s pattern, but typically, oh, this one's slightly different. Typically those would be orange and yellow designs, whereas these are like a modern take on it with the pink. Very pretty design on there. I do really like the kitchenware that's coming out of subscription boxes at the minute, especially the side plates. Those are real handy. I like those. We have a velvet pouch, which is like, this is like a tarot pouch, I would say. Fairyloot have actually just included one of these, which makes a lot of sense because Fairyloot have the tarot cards in, so you can keep your tarot cards in the tarot bag. I do have a spare set of tarot, once again the Fairyloot tarot, the last set, that are bagless, so I could use it for that, or just generally keep like cards or something else in it. Dice is another option. And then, oh, we have one more item before we get to the book of the month, which is a card game, so it makes more sense now. So this is the Guess the Character card game. It says it has 2 sets of 20 character cards and 20 mystery cards. Ask questions to guess your opponent's mystery character before they guess yours. Each player gets 1 set of character cards, teal or purple. Shuffle the orange mystery cards and each player takes one without revealing which card they have. The art on these is super pretty. I would have to play this to actually like figure out how it works as a game, but it's a cool idea. I'm all for little fun things like this being included, and I also like that I now have, like, we have the bag to put the cards in. It's all coming together, it's all making sense. So that is it for the items. Not a lot of items, I want to say, in this box, but typically like more high value ones. Next up for the book of the month, which we still don't have any Illumicrate bags, which I'm not too bothered about. We have the bubble wrap instead. I actually reuse the bubble wrap, so it's fine by me. But this book is, oh, I've seen this around. It is the Jazad Air by Sarah Hashem. I will overlay the original cover over the top so you can see the difference. We have a very nice stenciled edge on here. I want to see the regular cover of this because it doesn't look too different to me. Is this one grey instead of black? There's not a lot of difference in the cover. I mean, you have the rest of the customization, I guess. You have like all the other stuff, but the cover in itself doesn't look too different to me. It maybe is a slightly lighter shade than the original. I believe that the end papers in here are custom to match the pages. Oh, this is like a, what color is that? Is that a purple foil? Like a really dark purple? I don't know. Can you guys see it catching the light? Because like it looks black, but I feel like it's shining slightly purple. And then on the spine, it says every truth has its time, which, I mean, looking at that, that does look like black foiling. I am intrigued about this book. I've seen it on social media and it sounds interesting to me, but I'm not overly impressed by the level of customization on the Illumicrate edition. I feel it is signed by the author. But the synopsis on this says, 10 years ago the kingdom of Jazad burned, its magic was outlawed, its royal family murdered down to the last child. At least that's what Sylvia wants people to believe. The lost heir of Jazad, Sylvia never wants to be found. She can think about how Nizal's armies destroyed her kingdom and continue to hunt its people, not if she wants to stay alive. But when Aaron, the Nizal heir, tracks a group of Jazadi rebels to her village, staying one step ahead of death gets trickier. In a moment of anger, Sylvia reveals her magic and captures Aaron's attention. Now, to save her life, she'll have to make a deal with her greatest enemy. If she helps him lure the rebels, Sylvia will escape persecution. A deadly game begins. Sylvia can't let Aaron discover her identity, even as hatred shifts into something more. But her secret isn't as hidden as she thinks. Soon Sylvia will have to choose between the life she wants and the one that she left behind. The Scorched Kingdom is rising and it needs a queen. So yeah, the plot sounds interesting to me. It gives me like slight We Hunt the Flame vibes, but it has foiling as well. Like maybe the original one isn't actually foiled, it just looks gold. But yeah, this isn't the most wow special edition of a book that I've ever seen. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite item from this month's box is. I think maybe the game. For me, I will use pretty much everything. Not sure about these. I will use these, but I'm not sure if I will use them as teacups. But I think the game is probably the coolest item of this box. I have just looked up the 2 original covers for these 2 books, and it is not the month for the most elaborate color changes. These 2 have like slightly different colorways, but at least the Fairyloot ones have the alternate covers, so you can flip it around if you want to and have a whole new cover. Whereas this one, I feel there's just like minimal adjustments. Okay, so next up we have the 2 Afterlight boxes. I have no idea which one is which, so we're just going to start off with this one. And this one is the Ali Hazelwood box. I am excited. I ordered this specifically because I needed the book because it matches my other Ali Hazelwood books. And I forgot that it came with all of the extra stuff until I'd seen people like unboxing it on Instagram. Here is what's included in the box if you guys would like to check it out. I'm going in kind of blind because I have been spoiled, but blind as in I'm not looking at the spoilers. So excited about these. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted this, but I have to say these Merwild bookmarks started off, because I have every set of Merwild bookmarks that Illumicrate have included. They started off as like a real soft matte print, which this is matte and is like, it's an okay print. And then they did one set that was shiny. I wasn't a fan of those, and now they're single-sided. What? Why? Please, just I want them all to match and they're not all the same quality. But I think it was the Jade City ones that were shiny, but these are all of the characters from all of Ali Hazelwood's 3 standalone books, and I love the Merwild art. I'm still really happy about these, even though like I'm kind of upset that they're not double-sided. We also have a set of pins in here, one representing each of the books. We have, I'm gonna do the book first, which is Love Theoretically. This is Ali Hazelwood's newest release. It has a different colorway to the original, which I'll overlay over the top. And this one is, oh my god, I read an arc of this, so it's been a while. Oh, she's signed as well. And I really, really love the foiling on the naked hardcover is my favorite thing about these. But this one is about a girl called Elsie who is an adjunct professor, and she is applying to, is it MIT? Yes, for a more like long-term position, but because she doesn't make a ton of money as an adjunct professor, she's also like moonlighting as a fake girlfriend. And the guy who is responsible for hiring for MIT is a physicist that is the brother of Elsie's favorite client, so he thinks that she is his little brother's girlfriend, but it's all fake. I really liked this one. It's not my favorite of Ali Hazelwood's books, but I still really liked it, and it shook up like her typical plot structure, which is the same pretty much in the first 2 books. It shook it up in this one a little bit. I actually think this is my least favorite of the 3, but I liked the plot of it a lot. I still liked it a lot. It's just not my favorite of all the ones that I've read. And then the final thing we have in here, which is pretty cool, are a set of dust jackets for all of the books, which now I do have to make the decision because there is no option of buying a hardback set of these in the UK. They're all paperback. So now I have to make the decision of, do I have the standard Illumicrate covers on, or do I put the alternate dust jackets on these? But they're so pretty. I love this art. They're gorgeous. They remind me of the Helen Huang set that Illumicrate did recently. That's Love Theoretically. I love the Love Hypothesis one. And then look at Levi. That one is For Love on the Brain. So yeah, I am kind of disappointed about those Millwall bookmarks because this is the second set that have not matched the quality of the previous ones. But I really, really like the dust jackets in here, and I'm glad that I decided to get this box. So our penultimate item today is the July Afterlight. I'm pretty sure I should know maybe what book this is. I'm also pretty sure that I don't remember. So here are the spoilers. In the Afterlight you get a hardback, typically romance and special edition, and like 2 or 3 self-care items. So, oh, this month we have, this tells me what the book is. This is a little postcard that goes with the book. I didn't know that this was the book of the month. We also have a note card set in here. I don't really want to take all of these out. Are they the same or are they all different? They are all different, but they're just little cards that you can kind of use for any occasion with some pretty designs on. I just don't want them all to be loose and me to like separate them from each other, because then we know I'm never going to be able to find and use them again, because that's just the kind of person that I am. Everything in here is super floral as well. We have an art print with a letter from the author on the back, and let me tell you, this is a handsome guy right here. I'm here for this. And then right at the bottom, I don't know what these are, but I'm intrigued. These are collapsible vases. How does this work? Because like in the spoiler thing for this, it says you can display your flowers or your dried flowers in this. But if I don't put water in this to open the bottom, I can't open the bottom. So it's not going to stand up. I've never seen these before. Are these a real thing? The book of the month has a ton of customization on it though. It's super, super pretty. And it is, of course, Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I know. Okay, this is why I'm confused right now. This is not for this. This is for Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. Okay, I just assumed that it was the book of the month. I was intrigued because I saw this and I thought, when I was in Denver, I saw a book in Barnes & Noble, which I'm actually glad that I didn't buy. I will put the US cover because I don't know what the UK cover looks like, but I was really intrigued by the US cover of this and I almost bought it, so I'm glad that I didn't. This is a rework of the UK cover, and I have to say I much prefer the standard US cover to this than the UK. So this is a blue version of the UK cover. It's got a different colour palette on it. It has a really nice printed edge, a floral one. And there we go. That is the art that is on the US cover that really intrigued me. So I'm glad that we incorporated it in here because it's stunning and I think it's gorgeous. And we also have foiling on the cover because this vibe is very different to this vibe. And I don't want to read this book. I want to read this book. You know, like this is appealing to me. This is given like cutesy summer throwaway romance kind of vibes, like the kind of romance, like a beach read. Like I love it and I'll have a great time reading it on the beach, but it won't be a super memorable one. This, however, is giving very different vibes. So the synopsis on this says, Ama Torres is a great wedding planner. Ama Torres does not believe in happily ever afters. When Ama lands the job of her dreams, a headline-grabbing wedding for a glamorous influencer and her fiance, it's her biggest job yet. But the florist is none other than Elliot. Hello, you are a florist? Well, you have floral tattoos. I wish I knew a florist that looks like this, let me tell you. But the florist is none other than Elliot Bloom, Ama's ex. The man whose heart she broke 2 years ago. She broke his heart. Damn, girl. You need to teach me some lessons. The man she hasn't spoken to since. Can they get through the wedding without killing or kissing each other? I'm here for it. I'm here for you, Elliot Bloom. This one is also signed by the author. So my favorite thing about this box is probably the book choice, because I do really love the US cover of this. It really pulled me in, and I think you guys can tell why. But I didn't want to buy it because I do have so much like contemporary romance in my backlist that I just didn't really want to add to that for no reason. So yeah, I'm really glad that this was the July Illumicrate book. And then finally, the last thing we have to open is the Locked Library for July. I don't think I know what book this is. I haven't been spoiled, and I am still continuing to be impressed by Locked Library. I'm still annoyed that they're double boxing their boxes though and sending me this inside a larger cardboard box, which just isn't necessary. But I'm really liking their customization, their book picks, even though yes, still I haven't read any. Okay. I'm really happy with the presentation, the curation and everything with this box. So, oh, I see a smidge of foil in. Can I guess what it is? I cannot. That's all we got so far. Normally I'm a bit more careful about opening. Oh, I have seen this one around. This one is And Break the Pretty Kings by Lena Jiang. The back says, never forget the dragons in your blood. This one is published by Magpie, so I believe that this is a YA, but I saw the cover of this and was intrigued on, I think, Harper Voyager's like just regular Instagram. I will overlay the original cover over the top so you guys can see the difference. We have a stenciled edge on here in orange. Oh, I don't know if these are custom, but they are very beautiful end papers. And we have a little bit of foiling under the dust jacket, as well as the spine that matches the rest of the Locked Library editions, which is a really cool touch. They all also have ribbon bookmarks, which I don't like to untuck because I can never get them back in. And we also have a bound in letter from the author, and hopefully a very interesting book. So the synopsis on this says, Marae is the crown princess of the kingdom of Seola, heir apparent to the magic that blesses women in her bloodline. With the nation on the edge of war and Marae's mother dying of a mysterious wasting sickness that makes her magic deadly and unpredictable, Marae is hurried through her magical initiation, ready to take her mother's place. But something goes wrong before Marae can inherit the throne. Flames and death and a monster even the gods fear are unleashed, and Marae's beloved brother is kidnapped. The only power at her disposal is an incredibly volatile one, the ability to switch with herself in time. Armed with the clues her future self can give her, and a promise to change nothing in the past, she sets out on a journey through a mythical land of chilling creatures and vindictive enemies to save her brother and stop a war thousands of years in the making. Beautiful and nightmarish, this fantasy debut, inspired by the historical Three Kingdoms of Korea, follows a crown princess's journey to understand her dark powers and save her realm. Sounds good to me. It also says on the front, a brother stolen, a monster unleashed, a kingdom in danger, a princess with power. I do love me an Asian inspired fantasy. I really love the world building, so hopefully this one will be a hit with me. So we got a big old stack of books today. 10, I think. Ow. I've just broken another nail. I already have one broken. I do have a repair tomorrow. Oh, we're bleeding. Yep. I think maybe next time I have an appointment, I'm gonna go shorter. Cause ow. Ow. But the show must go on. So I'm in pain, but this is the stack of This Month's special editions. We have a very blue theme going on with just a little pop of red here and there. What is your guys' favorite edition that I've unboxed in today's video? I think mine might be the Chloe Gong one, because as I mentioned, I liked all of the like end papers and stuff that was going on in there, like the art style of everything along with it. Not the most customizations on some of these, but I mean, oh, we'll turn it around because we love to see the sprayed edges. Oh, she pretty. She very pretty. But I'm gonna wrap this up so I can attempt to stick my nail back together until I've got a repair booked in for this one. So maybe we'll have them both fixed. But thank you so much to Illumicrate and Fairyloot for providing boxes that I showed to you guys in this video. Also a big thank you to Sourcebooks International, Liam's Vigil Publishing, and also Jasmine for sending me the arcs that I showed you guys today. And the links to the websites, the social media, and any discount codes that I have for anything that I've opened, any of the boxes I've opened today, will be down in my description box for you guys to check out. But aside from that, guys, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna. If you head to my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram, Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish Candle website, the Etsy for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. say you're a go when nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.